Why did the night security guard quit his job? What was so special about his last night shift that made him change his mind? This is the story of one man's journey through the darkest hours of the night and the profound impact it had on his life. It was just another ordinary night for Michael, seasoned night security guard who had become accustomed to the solitude of his nightly patrols. For years, he had faithfully guarded the premises, his presence a silent deterrent to any potential intruders. But tonight was different. As Michael made his rounds, he noticed something peculiar. In the flickering light of his flashlight, he saw not just the familiar shadows, but a world transformed. The mundane parking lot became an adventure. The empty corridors echoed with excitement, and even the security cameras seemed to have secrets of their own. It was as if the night itself was revealing its hidden truths to him, inviting him to see beyond the darkness. Why did a quiet night security guard suddenly get promoted to an executive leadership program? What did he do differently when no one was watching? This is the story of Daniel Reyes and how 3 silent years on the night shift led to the biggest leap of his life. Daniel was invisible to most people, a background figure. Showed up at 10 o'clock p.m. every night, scanned the building, took notes, and left before sunrise. No one really knew him. But what they didn't know was that Daniel had made himself a promise, a quiet vow to outdiscipline his circumstances. 3 years earlier, he'd hit rock bottom, jobless, kicked out of his apartment. He'd been chasing anything that paid ride shares, odd jobs, fast food shifts, but nothing stuck. Then, one late night while walking past an office building, he spotted an old janitor humming while mopping the floor. Daniel asked, "How do you do this every night and still look content?" The man smiled and replied, "Because showing up is the job." That one sentence stayed with Daniel. The next day, he applied for a graveyard shift as a security guard. The pay was low, the hours brutal, no one thanked him. But he didn't care. Daniel was done waiting for structure. He would build his own. He bought a simple notebook and made a rule. Every night at 2:47 a.m., no matter what, he would write 10 lines. Sometimes it was a goal, sometimes it was a lesson or a mistake, but always 10 lines. That notebook became his coach, his accountability partner, and eventually his mirror. He cut out distractions, no music, no caffeine. During breaks, he walked laps around the building. He read about Navy SEAL routines and Buddhist monks. He copied quotes from Stoic philosophers and tracked his habits with quiet obsession. His coworkers teased him. "Why are you treating this job like it's Wall Street?" Daniel didn't respond. He just kept writing. On the wall of the guard office, he began taping up his favorite quotes. "Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Mood is a liar. Routine is truth. Small hinges swing big doors." But then came the night that changed everything. At 3:02 a.m., the building's fire alarm went off. Sirens echoed. Red lights flashed. People panicked. What made this night different? The CEO happened to be working late. As others scrambled out, Daniel calmly followed emergency protocols. Checked all systems, cleared each floor, and directed the small evacuation with quiet precision. After the chaos settled, the CEO approached him and asked, "Where did you learn to stay that calm?" Daniel simply handed him the notebook. It wasn't a polished resume, just ink-stained pages filled with quiet repetition. Goals, failures, reflections, lessons. That night, Daniel didn't sell himself, he just revealed his system. 3 weeks later, he was called into the executive suite. He assumed it was the end. Maybe someone thought he handled things poorly. But instead, he was offered something entirely unexpected: a full scholarship to the company's internal leadership development program. The CEO had been deeply moved by Daniel's self-discipline and said, "We need people like you leading teams." Daniel didn't smile. He didn't cheer, just nodded. And the next night, he still wrote in his notebook at 2:47 a.m. That's the secret. He didn't change when the opportunity came. The opportunity came because he didn't change. In 6 months, Daniel moved from security to strategy. He began mentoring new interns, teaching them how to track mental fatigue and focus through systems. He wasn't charismatic or flashy, but he was steady, reliable, calm. He called his workshop stillness and systems. He never told anyone to chase success, told them to chase rhythm, process, predictability. Most people want breakthroughs, but Daniel learned that real transformation lives in boring consistency. Here's the part most people miss. Daniel never stopped working like a night guard. He just changed his role. He still woke up early, still journaled, still walked during breaks, still taped quotes on his office wall. So what can we learn from him? Maybe success isn't about talent, luck, or timing. Maybe it's about building a system you trust more than your moods. Write one sentence, walk one lap, read one page, do it again tomorrow and the next day, until you outgrow the version of you that was waiting for motivation. Discipline isn't about being the strongest. It's about becoming the most dependable person you know. When the world realizes you always show up, doors begin to open. No knocking needed. That's the story of Daniel, the invisible night guard, who wrote his own future. Maybe tonight is the night you start writing yours. Please subscribe for more stories like this. Your next leap might begin right here.